Hey everyone, it's Kathis. Today we're going over everything Season 18. I know a lot of people are jumping back into the game right now, so I wanted to make kind of like an entry point guide. Here's what you should be focusing on this season. We'll go over all of these seasonal activities like Catch Crash, Expedition, the Starchart, Captain's Atlas, really everything you should be focusing on. And as always, I'm not going to go into crazy amounts of detail because I don't want to overwhelm you when you come back to the game. There's already enough to do. So hopefully this video kind of breaks down what you want to know. And of course, if you have more questions, definitely ask down in the comments. But my style is to be as straight to the point as possible and give you the most information in the shortest amount of time. So let's get right into it. As usual, let's start off with the basics. Every season will get a new vendor to upgrade in the helm, with this season's being the Starchart. If you're new to Destiny and have no clue what the helm is, that's okay. Think of the helm as your home base for anything seasonal related, with each point in the helm being attached to a specific season. So anytime we interact with a Starchart, it's going to be for all things Season 18. Taking a look at the Starchart, we have an upgrade section, reputation rewards, bounties we can complete for general XP, and Umbral Engram focusing. The upgrades area will help us get better drops, allow us to call in aid during seasonal activities like Catch Crash and Expedition, and will increase our reward gains from activities. My recommendation here is to beeline your way to the hidden compartment upgrade for a guaranteed red border weapon on your first Catch Crash completion each week. Know that this is once per account, not per character. Then make sure to pick up the Precise Cartography upgrade for increased plundered Umbral energy from each expedition chest. Red borders this season are way more grindy than last season in my opinion, so the quicker we can get them, the better. Increasing our plundered energy rewards from completing expeditions will allow us to more quickly focus our Umbral engrams into seasonal weapons and armor. And yes, these Umbrals can focus into red borders. It's rare, but it happens. So how do we upgrade the Starchart? Well, each week we get new seasonal challenges. 2 of these challenges each week will reward a repute, and 1 repute will unlock 1 upgrade. So choosing your upgrades wisely is important, because choosing the wrong one will mean you'll have to wait till the next week to get the one you want. Just know though, by the end of the season, as long as you complete every challenge that rewards repute, you will be able to upgrade the entire Starchart. So don't ever feel like you're falling behind here, you've got time. Season 18 gives us an interactable quest item called the Captain's Atlas. We'll need 2 types of materials to make this work to get the most out of running expeditions, and just a quick PSA, you definitely don't want to run expeditions unless you're able to slot something here. Alright, so our 2 materials are map fragments and treasure coordinates. We can use these to make a treasure map, and we'll be making a lot of treasure maps. In my opinion, there is almost no reason to not run the rotating expedition weapon map. The chance at a red border weapon drop on an expedition is just too good to pass up on to not run with it. So, the next question, how do we get map fragments and treasure coordinates? Map fragments are only rewarded at the end of Catch Crash. You're going to get around 7 to 10 per run, but you can get more per run by progressing your battle pass and getting the plunder boost shown right here. Treasure coordinates, on the other hand, are earned by just playing the game, although some activities are way more efficient than others. I usually like to run a quick Nightfall or Playlist Strike for 40 to 60 per run. This Nightfall actually got me 65, which was pretty awesome. And by the way, here's what you can expect from other activities as well. Alright, let's talk about the 2 activities, Catch Crash and Expedition. I am not going to be going into detail on how to run these since they are very straightforward and don't really have any complex mechanics. You should just be able to make your way through really easily. But what I will say is that from my testing, you can expect 1 red border weapon from about every 10 Catch Crash runs. Full disclosure, I don't have enough data on Master Catch Crash yet, by the way, so let me know in the comments if you've seen better results. Moving on to Expedition, this is a much better use of your time if you're strictly hunting for red borders. As mentioned earlier, make sure to slot in a rotating expedition weapon map. This will guarantee at least a seasonal weapon drop from the final chest you dig up at the end of the expedition. I seem to get around 1 red border out of every 5 weapons here. I'm not sure that's perfectly accurate, but that's about what I've been seeing. I know this sounds really slow, but keep in mind you're going to be earning plundered energy and leveling your Starchart for more chances at red borders while running these expeditions. Next, take your plundered energy and umbral engrams to the star chart when you've got enough, and try to make some red borders. If you're like me and want to craft every weapon from this season, the most efficient method here is going to be to just use your 6 energy and pick up the random weapon engram. Use this until you have a pattern fully unlocked for a weapon. At this point, you can take your chances by continuing to buy the random weapon for 6. You might still get duplicates of the same pattern you've already completed. I've found over 10 red border Brigand's Laws now, and it just hurts every time I see it now. It definitely costs more energy to focus a specific weapon, but you'll at least be guaranteeing you won't get a duplicate. And just as an FYI, you do need to find one of each weapon before you can focus a specific weapon. And yes, you can focus armor and some foundry specific weapons if you want. My recommendation though is to still just go for those red borders first, and then you can move on to the other stuff. Getting the red borders out of the way is just the most important thing. Okay, shifting gears a little bit, let's talk about Grandmasters. Starting on October 4th, Grandmasters will re-enter the activity pool. You'll for sure want to run these since you get crazy amounts of materials, exotics, and adept nightfall weapons. 1595 power is the point of entry here, so start grinding those seasonal challenges and bounties if you haven't already. Grandmasters are a lot of fun because they are legitimately difficult, so the reward feels super satisfying. If you didn't know, you can't over level for Grandmasters, so you're capped 25 levels under, so they require a lot of thought and planning out to clear. Some, as always, are much easier than others, but just keep in mind these are pretty difficult. Grandmasters make masterworking your armor a total breeze, and the adept weapons are awesome. My adept hothead from last season is a prized possession of mine that I will never delete. If you can't get Grandmasters done though, don't worry, Master Nightfalls are still a really solid way to get some nice materials, you just won't be getting the adept weapons. Zavala, Shax, and the Drifter all have the Cry Mutiny grenade launcher for us to earn this season. This is a literal cannon launcher that fits right in with the pirate theme. It's pretty awesome. Reaching max rank with any of these vendors will grant you this weapon, but reaching the max rank twice will get you a custom vendor-themed ornament for it. The Cry Mutiny is great, but resetting your vendor rank multiple times in a season will also give you access to multi-perk weapons, which is totally awesome, since all of these weapons have such massive perk pools. I'm personally going for a 6 perk out of bounds submachine gun so I can have an awesome roll for both PvE and PvP. And just a quick PSA, make sure to complete the Scallywag title from this season if you are a completionist like me. This will go away at the end of the expansion, so make sure to do it before this year's over. The title is pretty grindy as opposed to the other seasonal ones, but should be completable as long as we're consistent this season. You can also guild your other titles like Deadeye, Conqueror, Flawless, and so on. All of the guildable titles will be gold. Gilding a title, by the way, is basically just prestiging it, and the amount of times you've gilded a title will be shown next to that title. Good luck grinding these out this season. Let's talk about some other stuff you shouldn't be neglecting either. The story this season is really interesting with Mithrax, Ido, and Aramis. You can also run Dares of Eternity for the newly revamped Dares weapons that are now craftable. Since we've run so many Dares of Eternity already over the last year, most likely, my strategy here has been to just roll in when I'm wanting to just chill and shoot stuff. I will say that I have been making sure to get the Pinnacle Challenge done each week for the guaranteed red border though. You need 250,000 points to do this, and I'm always going in with one of the Paraversal bounties. These reward you with the Paraversal Halls, which can contain treasure keys that we can use to help us get more red border weapons. King's Fall is out too. This is just a ton of fun. Once I get this YouTube channel more up and running, I'd really love to run some with you all to help you through it if you haven't run it yet. There are some truly epic weapons to find here, and surprise, all of them are craftable, so even more red border weapons to hunt for. Well, that is a very quick guide through this season. As always, I do my best to try to not fire hose you and overwhelm you with way too much information. Hopefully this was just the right amount of information to kickstart you into the season. Week 5-ish is a great entry point, as I mentioned, because you can quickly blast through all the content that allows you to upgrade your star chart. If this video helped you in any way, consider leaving a like and subscribing, as it really helps out the channel. And if I wasn't clear on something or didn't cover something you had a question on, please feel free to ask me in the comments. I try to answer every comment. Alright, well, that's it for now, everyone. I will see you in the next video.